Welcome back. In this class, we'll be talking about multiplication and division of complex numbers. We recall that I is equal to the square root of what? Minus 1. And in multiplying complex numbers, we will encounter the multiplication of the imaginary unit. So I times I, which is the same thing as I squared, is the same thing as the square root of minus 1 times the square root of minus 1, which is the same thing as minus 1. That is applying what? Laws of indices here. Okay. Now, also, I raised to the power of 3 is the same thing as I squared times what? I. And remember, our I is minus 1, so we have minus 1 times I, which is the same thing as what? Minus I. So, therefore, I raised to the power of 3 is the same thing as what? Minus I. And so on, we will do for I raised to the power of 4, I raised to the power of 5. Now, example 3 is telling us that to find Z1, Z2, that is Z1 times Z2. Z1 times Z2 is the same thing as 1 plus I times 2 minus what? 3I. Okay, you can see that we just do the normal expansion as we have in real numbers. Okay, take one of this number, multiply everything here. You take this and you multiply everything here, which that is done in the solution here. So here we pick this one, multiply by 2 minus 3i. Then we pick plus I, we multiply it by what? 2 minus 3i. So then 1 times 2 gives us 2. 1 times minus 3i gives us what? Minus 3i. And also you can see that plus I times 2, we have what? Plus 2i. And okay, now here is tricky. I times minus 3i gives us what? Plus 3. That is I times minus 3i is the same thing as I times I is what? I squared. Then 1 times minus 3 gives us what? Minus 3. Now, remember, I square is minus 1. So here, this is the same thing as minus 1 times minus 3, which is equals to what? 3. So that is what we have here to be what? Plus 3. Then when we collect like terms, you see that 2 plus 3, which is 5. Then 2i minus 3i is what? Minus I. That is for the multiplication of the complex number. And checking from my example, for example 4, we have that 3 plus 2i by what? 1 minus what? 4i. Okay, then we have that 3 open bracket 1 minus 4i, then you pick plus 2i open bracket 1 minus what? 4i. And when we open the bracket, we have 3 times 1, which is 3. 3 times minus 4i, we have minus 12i. Then 2i times 1, we have plus 2i. Then 2 times 4 is 8. Good. Then plus times minus is minus. Then I times I, which is I squared, is what? Minus 1. Then minus 1 times this minus will have what? Plus. And this is equal to, then we collect like terms. So 3 plus 8 minus 12i plus 2i. 3 plus 8 is 11. So here we have 11. Then minus 12i plus 2i, we have what? Minus 10i. So this gives us the multiplication of this for example number 4. This gives us this answer. Okay. Then when you check, similar procedure is performed for example number 5, and you can see clearly that in example 5, we are multiplying the conjugate of the complex number by itself. So we have 2 plus I times 2 minus I. And when we do that, we have 2 open brackets 2 minus I plus I, which is this I, times what? 2 minus I, which is the same thing as 2 times 2, which is 4, minus 2 times I minus I is minus 2I. I times 2 plus I times 2, we have plus 2I. Then plus times minus is minus. I times I is I square, and I square is the same thing as what? Minus 1. So minus times minus here is plus, so there we have plus 1 here. You can see that minus 2i plus 2i is gone. So we have 4 plus 1, which is equals to what? 5. So on the remark here, you can see that when you multiply a complex number by its conjugate, the result is a real number. Okay, and which we have that z bar is the same as a square plus what? B square. So that gives us the multiplication of the complex number. Then when we move to the next example, so we talks about division here. Now, to divide complex number, we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. And the idea is to make the denominator a real number. Then if you do that, then you're done, because when the denominator is not a complex number, then there is no division. So we have it here to be this. So we solve for A. The solution is appearing here already, but then we have that for A, z1 by z2 is the same thing as 3 plus 2i divided by 1 minus 4i, which is the same thing as 3 plus 2i. The conjugate of the denominator is 1 plus 4i. So we have 1 minus 4i times 1 plus 4i divided by 1 plus 4i, which is appearing here already. Now, this is, we multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. So when we do that, we have that here is the same thing as 3 plus 2i times 1 plus 4i divided by 1 minus 4i, then 1 plus 4i. We do that, we have that 3 open bracket 1 plus 4i plus 2i open bracket 1 plus 4i divided by 1 minus 4, sorry, 1 open bracket 1 plus 4i, and you use minus 4i, so minus 4i open bracket 1 plus 4i. So this is the same thing as 3 times 1 is 3, then 3 times 4i is 12i, plus 2i times 1 is plus 2i, then 2 times 4 is 8. I times I is I square, and I square is minus 1. So minus times plus, we have minus, divided by 1 times 1 is 1. Then 1 times 4i is plus 4i, minus 4i times 1 is minus 4i. Then minus times plus gives us minus. 4 times 4 is 16. I is I times this I is I square, which is what? Minus 1. Then this minus 1 times this minus gives us what? Plus. We are left with 3 minus 8 is minus 5. 12i plus 2i is equal to 14i. Then divided by, this is 4i minus 4i is gone. So 1 plus 16 is what? 17. This is equals to what? 17, which is the same thing as minus 5 over 17 plus 14 over 17. This is the division of the complex number. And by so doing, you've already divided the complex number. So this is for the A part, and for the B part, we follow the similar procedure, and you can see that this solution is given this way. So do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. And take note, please, the solution, the typed solution, it's actually wrong. Yeah, the typed solution is actually wrong, because here is 12i plus 2i, which is the same as what? 14i, not 17i as stated here. Okay, all right, thank you. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Originally the answer is minus 5 over 17 plus 14 over 17i. All right, thank you. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.